welcome back. I've just reached level 10 with the Immortal Wizard, and I've reworked my attribute points a bit. And the reason for that is I've gained items, and there's been story events and random reasons that I've got free attribute points in this game. You can see some of these guys have asterisks by them, and those are the ones that are affected by those items or events or whatnot. So I had to rework these. I put might at 8 because I want damage. Constitution, you may ask, why is that only at 5? This is the Immortal Wizard. He's a tank. He's supposed to live forever. He needs more Constitution. Well, there's actually a trick, and I'll show you. There's a way to get a lot of maximum health without bumping up Constitution above 5. The way attribute points work in this game is that after you reach 5, the increase in value after reaching 5 is lower compared to getting to 5. So, like, I think it was 5% maximum health increase per attribute point up to 5. And then if I increased it again, it would probably be only like 3% or something like that. That's how they all work. We care about literally all the attributes. I mentioned this in the last video, but we care about all the attributes except for perception because we don't care about crits with this build. And might damage, constitution health, dex for attack speed, intellect for essence pool, resolve for stamina. So then I'll show you the trick I did. What you do is you take the toughness perk from fighter, and that increases your max health by 20%. So that's why I don't need as much constitution as you would think. And then some other perks I took. I took another fighter perk called Brawn, because what this does is it increases damage with two-handed melee weapons. And that includes Parasitic Staff, the Parasitic Staff spell, which we're heavily reliant on, if you remember from the last video. It does work with this. I tested it. I tested without that perk, and I tested with the perk, and it did increase the damage. So it does work with this. And then a new grimoire I'm using is called the Spellblade grimoire, and it has a one-handed weapon in it called Spirit Lance. So I also took the Ranger perk, which does the same thing except for one-handed weapons, 25% damage increase, and I did test it for that. It does work with the Spirit Lance spell, so we get a lot more damage because of that. And then as far as other changes to spells go, I just had to take another notch in Grimoire Mastery so I could get access to Spirit Lance, and I think the rest of this is the same as you saw last time. And so I'll tell you where you get this grimoire next, because it is a very cool grimoire. I like running the Spellblade grimoire. And then after that, I'll do a little demonstration of the build again. Okay, so this is where you can find the grimoire of the Spellblade on this body right here. I'm right here below the Godless Altar. You can just spawn here, go down through there, and get it in the cave. Okay, time for the demonstration. So, since I'm going into this fight with a good chunk of health and essence, there's no reason for me to start off with Beothels, but the starting pattern is going to be almost identical to what I showed in the last video. Run up, start off with Arcane Veil, Bristling Frost, but now we're going to use the Spear this time instead of the Staff. And this thing is awesome because with these larger enemies, it just makes them stumble repeatedly and they get locked into place like this. There's literally nothing you can do except for die, I guess. And Arcane Veil just ran out, so we're gonna back off, dismiss the spear, switch to Beothels, and get our health back. And this spell, since it's rank 2, makes them summon or stumble, so they can't fucking do much. And I want to get some mana back, so we're gonna use the staff. And this thing does tons of damage and restores our essence. It's basically the same pattern as I showed with level 6. It's really easy. You barely have to dodge, only when your Arcane Veil runs out like that. And we're good on resources, so I'm gonna go back to the Spellblade grimoire. So I'm gonna cast this real quick. Okay, Arcane Veil, Bristling Frost, Spear.
Next one's mine.
Yeah, Another thing that's nice about the spear instead of the staff is these little guys are fast, so they're kind of hard to hit with the staff because of that. But the spear's faster. I'm gonna show you actually with the staff. I want some essence anyways. Okay, I managed to hit that guy, no problem. But you can see it's the same dealio as before. Come out of the fight with resources. I didn't have to use a single potion. The next fight, since I'm a little bit low on essence, I'll start off with this staff instead of starting off with the Spellblade grimoire and using the spear. But you can just go forever, get tons of resources, don't have to use any potions. It's awesome. You're immortal. And the difficulty I'm on, by the way, is hard.